The iPad Pro is more powerful than most PC laptops, yet ironically, it still can't replace your laptop. It's got the same chips as the MacBook Pro, incredible battery life, a stunning display, and accessories that make it feel almost like a laptop. Now I say almost because there's one big problem: iPadOS. Because despite all that power, the software is holding it back. Apple calls it a computer replacement, but let's be real, it's just a glorified Netflix machine. So what's wrong with iPadOS? Why does the iPad feel crippled, and will Apple ever fix this? Let's find out. The iPad has been struggling with an identity crisis for years. Apple keeps adding laptop-like features, external monitor support, stage manager, and trackpad support. But somehow, it still doesn't feel like a true laptop replacement because iPadOS is stuck between being a mobile and desktop OS. And Apple just refuses to pick one. Wanna run macOS apps? You can't. Want full file management like a Mac? Can't do that either. Want proper multitasking, windowing, or pro software in that matter? Just give up. Even basic mobile apps aren't optimized. Take Instagram for example. It's been 14 years since the iPad launched and there's still no proper Instagram app. You're either stuck with a stretched out iPhone version or forced to use the web app, which looks like absolute garbage. The fact that Meta, one of the biggest tech companies in the world, can't be bothered to make an iPad app says a lot about how Apple treats the iPad platform. I mean, how am I supposed to enjoy doom scrolling on the big screen when everything looks like a stretched out iPhone app? It took Apple 14 years to bring a calculator to the iPad because Steve didn't want it to look like a stretched iPhone app. Yet ironically, one of the most used apps, Instagram, still looks like a stretched iPhone app. If social media apps don't even take iPadOS seriously, then why should we? Apple's own M-series chips makes iPads as powerful as Macs. The iPad Pro has the same M4 chip as the MacBook Pro and Air, yet it's only limited to mobile apps. It has a 120Hz ProMotion display, which is better than some MacBooks, has Apple Pencil support, which is great for artists and students, and it even has Thunderbolt. On paper, it should be the ultimate portable workstation. But what can you really do with all that power? Play Candy Crush at Jesus FPS? Meanwhile, on a Mac, you can run pro apps, virtual machines, game emulators, and use real Final Cut. All the things that the iPad Pro should be able to do, but Apple won't allow. I mean, for God's sake, it's called the iPad Pro for a reason. It's like putting Lewis Hamilton in a Ferrari, but the strategy is just plain garbage. But jokes aside, iPadOS isn't all bad. Apple has tried to make it feel more pro, and some features do seem promising. Stage Manager is a great idea when it comes to improving multi-window workflows on iPad, but has terrible execution. The Files app is certainly better than before, but still nowhere close to what macOS offers with Finder. And then there's the App Store problem. You can't download apps from outside the App Store. Meanwhile, Mac users can install anything they want. Imagine if the iPad used all of its power. What if you could boot macOS when docked? What if Stage Manager actually let you resize windows freely? And what if you could actually use Final Cut that had real plugins on an iPad? Sounds like a dream to me, but unfortunately, it's not even a real thing. I mean, you're telling me that my 4-year-old Galaxy S21 can run Samsung DeX, but the iPad, which in theory can run macOS, can't do the same thing? Pathetic. So what's the fix? The answer is actually really simple. Apple just needs to stop treating the iPad like a bigger iPhone. They gotta give users an option to run Mac apps, or maybe even a light version of macOS. Stage Manager should let people move and resize windows freely, and Apple should give users the option to run real Final Cut, Logic Pro, and Xcode, apps that can actually take advantage of that powerful M chip. Right now, the only way to truly take advantage of that M chip is mobile gaming. Genshin Impact, CarX Street, and Call of Duty run really fast on the iPad Pro. But that doesn't really fit into the pro branding of the iPad Pro, does it? If the iPad has the power of a Mac, then let it run like one. But here's the real question, will Apple actually do it? Probably not. The moment the iPad becomes too good, it will start eating into MacBook sales, and those have a higher profit margin. Why sell you only one device when they can sell you two? Why let you install Final Cut Pro on your iPad when they can sell you a $7,000 MacBook Pro instead? I mean, after all, Apple loves money like no tomorrow. Apple could make the iPad the best all-in-one device. They could let it run macOS when docked, and they could definitely let you sideload apps like on a Mac. But then, why would you need a MacBook? Why would you spend thousands on an M4 MacBook Pro when a 13-inch iPad Pro with the same chip could do the same thing for less? And that's the real reason why Apple won't fix iPadOS. But what do you think? Is the iPad's hardware being wasted? Would you switch to an iPad if it had full Mac functionality? Let me know in the comments below. And as always, thanks for watching, love you all, have a nice day.